What it do, comic bros? It's your boy, Super Duper Sean, and this is Power Comics, and I'm back with another video. So, about 4 months ago, earlier this year, I announced that there was a Marvel and DC crossover in the works. They had just inked the paperwork for a Marvel vs. DC crossover. And y'all know we have been waiting 20 plus years for another Marvel and DC crossover. So at the time, they did not give us no details or nothing, just a vague announcement saying to expect one coming up. Well, today we get the details, people. Today we get the characters involved. Today we get the writers. Today we get the artists on the book. But before I get into that, I need y'all to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. It pushes my videos through the algorithm, letting YouTube know that you like my content and you appreciate it. And it helps me out more than any Cash App donation. Anywho, yes, so without further ado, we getting a Batman Deadpool crossover. I have an article from Marvel.com himself, straight from the horse's mouth. We not going to no third-party website. We on Marvel.com today. Let's see what they got to say about it. Then I will give my initial thoughts on the crossover. Let's get it, man. Deadpool Batman #1 arrives in comic shops this September. Marvel and DC kick off the most anticipated crossover of the year. Deadpool and Batman hit stores September 2025. Announced earlier today at Entertainment Weekly, Marvel's Merc with a Mouth meets DC's Dark Knight. This September in Marvel, DC, Deadpool, Batman, issue 1. The first of 2 crossovers between Marvel and DC. More than 20 years in the making, produced by Marvel, Deadpool Batman #1 will be followed by Batman Deadpool #1, produced by DC, on sale this November. Okay, so Deadpool Batman is produced by Marvel, then Batman Deadpool is produced by DC. So just a flip on the title, Deadpool and Batman #1 will be written by prolific Spider-Man comics writer and co-writer from Marvel Studios, Deadpool and Wolverine, Zeb Wells, and drawn by industry superstar Greg Capullo, an artist with an incredible legacy at both legendary comic book companies with influential work on Batman and X-Men titles. In addition to the main story, the one shot will feature a lineup of jaw-dropping backup adventures, each featuring Marvel and DC character matchups that are sure to thrill every comic book fan. More details on these backup stories and their creative teams will be shared at a later date. It's the crossover you never expected but always wanted. Deadpool and Batman cross swords and batarangs as Marvel and DC unite for the first time in decades. Wade Wilson has been hired for a job in Gotham City, but will the world's greatest detective help him or destroy him? Let's hear from Zeb Wells, the writer on Deadpool and Batman. After writing Amazing Spider-Man 2022 for 60 issues, I told Marvel I needed a break. Marvel told me I could do that, or I could write a comic starring Deadpool and Batman with the best Batman artists of our generation. I no longer needed a break. Wells shared with Entertainment Weekly. In Batman, we found someone who has even less time for Deadpool's antics than Wolverine, but a citywide threat from the Joker makes strange bedfellows. Literally, if Deadpool had his way. It's been a blast letting Deadpool loose in Gotham City and watching what happens. Am I dreaming? This crossover is likely to be the high point of my career, and I've had a great career, Capullo added. Some of my earliest works many years ago was on X-Force 1991. Greg Capullo's art on X-Force 1991 is amazing. I fell in love with Greg Capullo through Spawn, but his X-Force work is just as good. Man, them fight scenes he drew with Cable, them guns, everything was just so detailed. I love how Capullo draws. So Deadpool and I go way back. More recently, I spent 10 years plus drawing Batman at DC. The idea that I get to do a crossover event with Deadpool and Batman, if I am dreaming, please don't wake me. Check out Capullo's main cover and stay tuned for more news about Deadpool Batman #1 in the weeks ahead. So that was Greg Capullo and Zeb Wells at the end of the article. This book is actually on sale 9/17. Now, we got a little insight to the story with, I guess, Deadpool taking a job in Gotham. Now, we know Deadpool is a mercenary, so he was hired. So let's see who he's been hired to take out, you guys. If you guys could guess someone in Gotham that he's been hired to take out, I think Deadpool was hired to take out Jim Gordon for some reason. I think he's hired to take out Jim Gordon for some corrupt mobster paying Deadpool to take out Jim Gordon, and Batman cannot let that happen. They cannot let that happen. Batman does his homework on Deadpool, sees that he's done some good, and he was a soldier once and he just lost his way, appeals to him. They eventually end up teaming up and taking out, destroying the client who hired Deadpool in the first place. Now, when I initially heard about these two characters clicking up for a Marvel vs. DC crossover, I was not that thrilled because I'm thinking like, I love my Batman serious, focus, being a detective, martial artist. That's how I want to see Batman all day, all the time. Notice I said Batman, not Bruce Wayne. That's how I want to see Batman. Deadpool is the total opposite of it. He's not focused. He's lackadaisy, very comic relief, no filter, and that sometimes, let's keep it real, when people write Deadpool, it can come across as mad childish. So when you're mixing these two worlds, nothing about Gotham City says childish. So I'm like, how is this going to work, right? How is this going to work? And then you give me Zeb Wells as the writer. Now, I'm not saying Zeb Wells is a bad writer, but to me, he's not top tier talent. His Spider-Man run started off good and it fell off a cliff. I'ma just keep it real. It fell off a cliff, man. Greg Capullo is a legendary artist, though. If it's anybody that can turn shit into sugar, it's Greg Capullo. He a wizard. He is a damn wizard for sure. Now, Marvel and DC. It's been 20 years since y'all hooked up. It's been 20 years since we got a crossover. Are we genuinely trying to tell a good story and sell books? Or are we just trying to sell books? Grab your biggest character, we grab our biggest character, put a mid writer on there, maybe give him a look. Just put something together. These fans would be happy. It can be mediocre. These fans would be happy as long as they're getting a crossover, as long as we're joining forces like they've been wanting, they'll love it. No. That's not true. You can't just pair Deadpool with everybody and think that it's gonna be great, man. I'm very skeptical about this Deadpool and Batman stuff. Very skeptical. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't think it's a match. Their worlds colliding is something I frankly don't want to see, but you got Greg Capullo on there. Zeb Wells has written some good stuff in his career. I give him that. I love his Hellion stuff. Loved his Hellion stuff. His New Mutants was pretty good and his Carnage was aight. I may could have done without the Carnage, and his Spider-Man started off real good. Then it kind of tapered off to me. So he's not the best writer. He's a middle of the pack type writer. He's definitely not no Jed MacKay. Now, if you said Jed MacKay was on this book, I'd have got excited. If you said Chip Zdarsky was on this book, I would have got excited. But one name that I did see attached to this book that got me excited was Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson, no, she can write some good comics. Well, super, you just told us Greg Capullo and Zed Wells were the creators. You know how they said there was more creators? Well, I have a scoop from bleedingcool.com. The other creators that will be helping out on these crossovers are as stated. This comes from bleedingcool.com. Kevin Smith joins Deadpool Batman with Chip Zdarsky and Kelly Thompson. Bleeding Cool has the scoop that Kevin Smith, Chip Zdarsky, Kelly Thompson, Adam Kubert, Terry Dodson, Yuhiro, and more comic book creators will be joining the Marvel DC Comics creative crossover team for Deadpool Batman #1, as well as the previously announced Zed Wells and Greg Capullo with Tim Townsend and Alex Sinclair coloring the comic. Kevin Smith's name alone would be enough to boost sales and is part of a major return to comics, including Archie, Quick Stops, and Spider-Man Fantastic Four. But don't take our word for it. Check out the cover for next month's Marvel's previews with the project in question and the creative line up. As Bleeding Cool previously reported, Deadpool Batman will be published by Marvel Comics for the 17th of September, and DC Comics will be publishing Batman Deadpool by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora in November on November 1st. There will be more new Marvel and DC or DC Marvel one-shots arriving sometime in 2026. Yes, so there you have it. We got more insight, more people joining creative team. You got Kelly Thompson, you got Chip Zdarsky, we got some superstars on these books. Dan Mora. Now I am excited. Now I'm jumping for joy, people. Oh yeah, Randy's Macho Man. Oh yeah. But that's all I got for this video. If you are excited for Batman Deadpool or Deadpool Batman, please drop your thoughts in the comment section. I want to know how you feel. And what are two heroes from Marvel and DC that you want to see crossing over into each other's world? Me, I got to see. I would love to see Black Lightning meets the Thunder God Thor. Now that would be juice. And if I can't have that, please give me Superman versus Hyperion. Yeah, let's get some anti-hero love here. Lobo versus Ant-Man. I just think that would be funny. I think Lobo will have so many jokes. Lobo versus Ant-Man would be fucking gold to see. I'm telling you. I'm your boy, Super Duper Deuces.